Yo. Welcome in, man. Today is January 23rd. Welcome on to the ChrisBeCappinn Show. We have a bunch of games on the board for today. We'll jump into them. We'll do a quick recap as we always do and go through just a real quick couple comments. I'm actually hurt right now, if I'm being honest with you guys. I'm still hurt. I'm watching the Dallas game last night and the Dallas and Minnesota game last night. And I see Kyrie hit the game winner while I'm down here at the computer watching the game, capping the games for tomorrow, trying to get ahead for today's slate. And I see Kyrie hit this meaningless 3-pointer, and it hurt. That hurt. That made me not want to cap the rest of the games for tomorrow, if I'm being honest with everyone. But let's get into it. Let's talk about the recap. So Brooklyn team total under yesterday was a winner. Gave it out yesterday morning on the show. Said I thought Brooklyn players was going to be ruled out under 104.5. I think they scored like 80-something points. Minnesota won by 1. Boston won by 4 in overtime after ruling out 3 of their starters. Got the best of the number, but it didn't matter. Golden State Sacramento first half went under by the hook. I sent that out late. 113 is what they finished with because Sacramento decided to not play defense last night. Golden State scored pretty much whatever they wanted, even shorthanded yesterday. And then the full game under did go over because second half, the Kings said, you know what, y'all can't stop us, Golden State. And then Golden State couldn't play defense. So that one ended up splitting. James Harden under 8.5 assists and Phoenix money line ended up being voided, or you might have got like a little change back on it because Phoenix did win, but Harden didn't play. And then Giannis' game was voided as well. Giannis' point was voided because he didn't play, of course. The game got postponed. So, 2-3-2 night. Lost a unit and a half. Got CLV on everything yesterday. Did not matter at all. I'm not don't have the greatest of energy this morning. Just being honest with you guys. I know when I don't got it, and I'm cool with that. So I'll go through just a few comments and really just not even reading what jaXon got to say today. I looked into a prompt, I'll tell you guys, and I don't really care too much for the slate either. It's a bunch of games. Honestly, does it really matter? Do we know who's gonna play, who's not gonna play? So that's why I'm at with it right now. Like I said, I don't have the greatest energy, and I get all that. I definitely get it. Gina, I appreciate you for joining as a member. Talking about the Kyrie shot, I don't want to talk about it at all, man. I really don't want to talk about it. Appreciate you helping hands. Just keep doing your thing. You did amazing on Cal's show yesterday evening. I made my skin crawl. Even with all the hateful comments. I didn't even see the hateful comments. I'll go back and look at those. I don't really look at the comments when I'm doing somebody else's show. But I do need to go back and look at those. Maybe I'll fire some people up because I'm hosting again today. I love going back and forth. So maybe I'll have the jokes on standby. What up, Peasy? Good morning, Justin. Good morning, Daniel. Says you killed Cal's show yesterday. Can't wait to see you running back later. I appreciate that, man. What's up? Good morning, Prolific. Wally says, love the show. Bright and early. The man Chris, shout out from Richmond. Appreciate you, Wally, for tapping in from RVA. What up, GLB? Says light day for me today. I got one play. We'll talk about it. Good morning, Raptors fan. Yeah, he talking. Man, that's something I don't want to talk about, man. I was boy. And to watch Boston, I knew when the first quarter with Boston, I knew that game didn't have a chance for them to cover either. I actually don't want to ever take Boston again, unless they have Porzingis. To me, Porzingis unlocks the team. So Boston having to go to overtime last night with the Clippers' second unit was pretty interesting stuff. But once I saw Porzingis rolled out with an illness because they played the Lakers tonight, I already knew what type of time they were on. So line, I think, closed at 12.5. Probably should have doubled down and took a Clippers plus 12.5. Boston not built like that, honestly. Not without Porzingis, they're not. So we'll talk about all of those games. Let's get into what jaXon got to say for today. I just super simple prompt today. I asked jaXon, check jaXon out if you're interested. Coupon discount code in the description of the video. I just asked jaXon what assist prop. What are the two best assist props in the NBA today? And just FYI, jaXon went 2-1 yesterday. I asked jaXon for 3 NBA scoring props. jaXon like Anthony Edwards, which was a loser. like Devin Booker, over 25.5 was a winner. He finished with 32. And like Malik Monk, over his 18.5, and he finished with 20. So 2-1 day for jaXon yesterday. And today, when I asked jaXon about the assist prop, jaXon likes Franz Wagner over his 3.5 at minus juicy odds, though, minus 152. Maybe you could find something better than that, but probably not. I feel like Bet Rivers typically have some pretty good lines. So jaXon likes Franz over 3.5 assists, says he's hit. We won't even know if he's going to play, but he is listed as questionable. We'll see how that goes. I'm not reading all of it. He has gone over, though, in 9 of his last 10, I think. So the line's just set kind of low. And then jaXon also likes Tyrese Halliburton over his 8.5 assists. Some matchup versus a weaker defense, it says. Yeah. All right. So those are the two things that jaXon like, Franz and Tyrese Halliburton, over 8.5 assists for Holly, over 3.5 for Franz. Let's talk about the first game. That's the only one that I bet. This line, is on the move a little bit now. We got a game. This is a 2 o'clock start time game. I think that's the most important thing to start with. This game will be played in Paris. It's a bunch of. I was talking to Drop of Dimes about this a couple days ago, and he was just letting me know that there are some French roots to this Indiana Pacers team as well. It's not just like a homecoming for Victor Wembanyama, which I think a lot of people probably gonna look at it like that and think that the Spurs come with a little bit of added motivation, and potentially they could. The Spurs have been really bad at basketball, so you got an early start time. This game actually kicks off in about 5-6 hours, so something to take into consideration. They do play again on Saturday as well in San Antonio, so something else to take into consideration at the handicap. But this is a Paris day game, so head-to-head, San Antonio's won 3 of the last 4 head-to-head matchups. They played the Pacers pretty tough. San Antonio in current form been terrible, though. They've lost 3 straight, 6 of their last 7. They failed to cover 6 in a row. Indiana, opposite of San Antonio, they've actually won 8 of their last 9 and covered 8 of their last 9. Just a well-oiled machine out of Pacers right now. Indiana also 6-3-1 to the under in their last 10 games, including 6 of their last 7. The only one that went over was the Cleveland Cavalier game that we did take the under on. That was the game that they couldn't play any defense. So I'm looking into the on-off court stuff. Indiana has the 3rd best defensive rating last 5 games. They've been really locking teams down, correlates with them being 6-3-1 to the under. So 3rd best defensive rated team, 6th in offensive efficiency last 5 games, all while playing the 4th most difficult schedule. The Pacers have been absolutely on the road, playing against really good teams. The Spurs, the 2nd worst defense last 5 games, the middle of the pack offensively, while playing the 3rd most difficult schedule as well. So the Spurs been struggling, but they have been playing against some really good opponents. I know they just lost to the Memphis Grizzlies twice. They lost to the Milwaukee Bucks. Outside of that game against the Lakers, they've looked really, really poor, like very, very poor for a while now. So I'm looking at where Indiana wants to score it. A lot of it comes in the paint and in the mid-range, both last 5 games and full season. The Spurs have been really good at limiting teams in those 2 shot zones, but you look at the Pacers, they will play with pace, and that's something San Antonio has struggled to guard over the last 5 games. So while I think the Pacers offense could potentially be a little stagnant in this game, because where they like to score is typically where the Spurs typically, they got Victor Wembanyama. They do a really good job of running teams out of the paint and, away from the rim. It still feels like the Pacers should be able to get out and score in this game, in my opinion. Like I said, the Spurs have really, really struggled. They've actually given up the most points per possession in transition over the last 5 games. We know the Pacers only want to play one way, and that's super fast. Pacers do have 1 extra day of rest here as well. San Antonio has been one of the, I guess, worser teams in the NBA when they are at a rest disadvantage. And then I looked into some other stuff as well. San Antonio, I talked about this when I talked about them against Memphis the other day. They're not a team that I really want to trust. The Spurs are, when they have teams that they are trying to play that play fast against them, teams that have a pretty good offense. That's not the time you really want to back the Spurs. So I looked into it. The Spurs are just 5-11 straight up when playing teams that are top 10 in offense. And San Antonio also just 5-14 against the spread, playing in game totals that have playing in games with a total that's higher than 225. So higher than 225 for the Spurs, to me, correlates with them, having to be able to score the basketball. I talked about this in the Memphis game last week twice. And that's when they really, really struggle. So if the total is higher than 225, they're only 5-14 against the spread, 3-7 straight up, and against the spread playing in games when the total is higher than 229.5 as well. And this total is 230 now. It continues to go up, or 229.5, kind of out there. They've lost 4 straight in this spot. In comparison, if they're playing in a game with a lower total, they're 16-7 against the spread. So if it's below 225, the Spurs typically play well. But if they have to really guard their yard, they really, really struggle. And I think a lot of that is due to their transition defense. So I did play Pacers here. I got a -2.5. I did see the line drop to 2 overnight. It looks like it's back up to 3.5. I'm just not really wanting to catch the falling knife. And I love what Dropping Dimes had sent me the other day about, I think he said, I'm not sure if it's Siakam or if he said, I know he said Benedict Mathurin has some French roots. So I think San Antonio gets up for this. I think the Pacers get up for this game just as much as San Antonio does. Just because they're playing in Paris does not make me want to take the San Antonio Spurs. Now, they try to showcase Wemby? Absolutely. But the last thing I'll mention about this game is I've kind of figured out, I feel like I figured out the San Antonio Spurs. They're a team that when you get physical with Wemby, and I was telling Dropping Dimes this, when you get physical with Wemby, you can kind of knock him off of his game a little bit. I watched teams get physical with him, like Zach Edey, the last couple games that they played against the Memphis Grizzlies, he struggled. If you watch the Spurs play against the Miami Heat in their last game, they got blown out. And that was because Ware came in and was super physical with him. Bam was super physical with him. So if Miles Turner can be physical with him and they can kind of bang him up a little bit down low, Rick Carlisle can, put him get him away from the rim so the Pacers can still kind of attack the rim. I think the Pacers win this game. I think they win it by at least one possession. So am I a little hesitant? And, do I like it as much being that the Timberwolves just let Kyrie shoot that walk-up three-pointer last night with no time left? Yeah. Pacers win the game by 2. I'm going to be pissed if I'm being honest. But I think the Pacers win the game by 3. And that's the way I chose to play it. Actually, the only thing that I played all day long and might not even make another play, honestly. Not going through all the comments, but let's just see. Good morning, Taylor. Appreciate you for tapping in. Good morning, Nayeli. She says a day off always leads to a good day. I might be there. I might be there where I need a day off. Appreciate you, Blunt. Appreciate you, Fair Elite. Shout out to RVA. Andrew Cash Barnes assists. Justin says he's going to put Wemby threes in his pocket to hit 4 at plus 143. Yeah, he's going to jack up a ton of them, especially being back home. I could definitely see that. Let's see. What up, Tariq? Appreciate you for tapping in. I don't see 2s anymore, Andrew. I see 3. I see 3.5 now. But it did go down to 2. It did go down to 2. And I mean, there's some things to take into consideration. Neutral site game. It's some things to take into consideration here. Maybe the Spurs win it. I'm not betting on the Spurs, though. Good morning, Christian. Appreciate you for tapping in. What's up, Pete? Said he's your lay, even if Sohan is still out. And I forgot to mention the injury reports. Jeremy Sohan is questionable for this game. And I think the Pacers will be at full strength. And another reason to like the Pacers, they're being at, them being at full strength. We know Aaron Nesmith came back in their last game. He looked really, really good immediately. I think he's only played one game. He played really, really well in that game. So, I like the Pacers, especially with a clean injury report now. Pacers got enough, in my opinion, here. What's up, Brian? Appreciate you for tapping in. Says, let's get this Indiana victory. He likes it. What up, Flint? Appreciate you for tapping in. Since he went 4 for 5 last night in the NBA. Tatum did a double-double, shot me in the foot. He should have got a double-double. Corey says Miles Turner is soft, though. He be playing with Legos, according to Isaiah Stewart. This is the type of stuff I needed to see this morning, Corey. I remember that. He said, you play with Legos. Oh, man. I need him. I don't need him out there playing with Legos today. I don't need him playing with Legos. Michael says Pacers team total over. I couldn't talk you off. Pacers team total over, Michael. I think I was looking at a Spurs team, a potential Spurs team total under. I just talked about the Pacers defense being really, really good, but I'm not playing both. Spurs team total is 113.5 though over on FanDuel, 8 cent of juice attached. So that's a way that you could look as well. So let's get through the other games. Like I said, I don't really care too much about most of these games. It will be a super light day for me. I'm still in the recovery process, if I'm being honest with you guys. It really, really, and I don't get on here and vent too often, but it really does suck. Like to work as hard as I do, I put in so much time and effort and energy into not just running the show and like, the graphics and blah, blah, blah. But it sucks when you handicap the games and you try to get ahead of the lines and you get far ahead of the lines. And just to all see it kind of come crashing down with the injury report later in the day, that sucks. And I'm just keeping it 100, man. So I'm not going like I honestly could care less about the NBA today, but I do care about the Pacers game because I do got Pacers -2.5 in my pocket. The other games we'll get through pretty quickly. Portland, Orlando, don't really care about it. The injury report is kind of crazy. I think you definitely need to see what goes on with the injury report here. You got a bunch of guys on the Portland Trail Blazers side of things that's listed as questionable. And the same thing for Orlando, Anthony Simons. So Cole Anthony, questionable with an illness. Bataze, doubtful. He's still dealing with the concussion. Franz could potentially return. He's trying to get his conditioning back. Not sure if he's going to play. Chris Murray, questionable. Tamari Kamara, also questionable. I think his is an illness. And then you got DeAndre Ayton, questionable. Anthony Simons, questionable. I could care less, man. I could care less. This is for Portland, second of a 3-game road trip. They've won 2 back-to-back games versus Chicago and Miami, both as a dog. This is first leg of back-to-back. They play Charlotte tomorrow. Orlando has 4 straight losses, 4 straight non-covers. They got smoked by Toronto the other day by 16 on Tuesday. They're 7-3 to the under in their last 10 games. The worst offensive team in the NBA by far. Really, really difficult for me to want to lay this many points with Orlando, especially potentially not having Franz. I think I would look towards Portland. But Portland got so many injuries to key players that, Klingon is still out as well. I'm like, team got 6-7 players on the injury report, man. I'm gonna just start not even, let's just skipping over those games and not even talking about them. So best of luck if you're betting this one. If I had to bet it, I guess I would be looking towards Portland plus the points. They have been playing a little bit better recently. Orlando, a fallen knife that I really don't want to catch, but if they get Franz back, they have a lot of major advantages. And the Trailblazers, you just kind of got to see what's happening with the injury report here. So no play for me. I could, like I said, this is one of the games I can kind of care less about. Injury report kind of crazy in this one. Blindly betting the Magic at home, Blunt says. Scoop to get 7 assists, Christian says, against Orlando. I don't really know. Don't really know. Let's see. Why do the books not offer a full cash out? Because the books want our money. Well, they're not gonna give you a full cash out, man. They would be crazy to. We would be crazy to even think that they would do that for us. Yeah, right. They're not doing that, man. Flint says Portland first half spread. Magic 15-27 first half against the number. Magic gonna eventually get right. I just not sure what it's gonna be here tonight. So then we got Miami and Milwaukee up next. So Tyler Hero missed the last game. He is probable in this one with that hamstring tightness. I think it was hamstring tightness, right? No, growing. My fault. Growing tightness is what he woke up with and missed the last game against Portland. Jimmy Butler has been suspended. And then on the Milwaukee side, they should potentially have everybody. AJ Green may return, so they should be good to go. I put this tweet at the bottom from Eric Neiman. And this is one of the reasons why I didn't bet the game. This did open at 5. So he just says, you can see it in the bottom, the Bucks are not going to be able to fly back out to Milwaukee today. They're going to have to try to fly back in enough time on Thursday to play the Miami Heat because this is a home game for them. So Miami, of course, went from having the rest advantage because the Bucks were supposed to be on the second leg of a back-to-back to now the Bucks going to be scrambling today, trying to get out of that snowstorm. They were in New Orleans yesterday and, I guess got snowed in. They probably canceled a lot of flights. So they're going to try to get back. That to me, that throws everything off. Milwaukee, of course, by far the better team. I can give you guys all the numbers. Without Jimmy Butler, don't want to look towards Miami at all. Miami is coming off a huge loss the other day. They lost by 9 to Portland as an 8.5-point favorite without Tyler Hero. So now you get Tyler Hero back. Jimmy Butler is suspended. Milwaukee trying to fly back from New Orleans back home with the snow. Who knows what time they're going to get there. It's a pass for me. It's absolute pass. The one thing I guess I would look towards is potential Bucks team total over. Miami has really struggled to guard the rim. Giannis probably going to get downhill, put a lot of pressure on the rim in this game. These two teams did play early this season. Milwaukee beat them by 3. I think it was 106 to 103 back on November the 26th. As a 5.5 point road dog, the Milwaukee Bucks were in that game. That was before Milwaukee kind of turned it around, but not looking to bet against Milwaukee right now with this line moving from 5 to 7. I probably would just stay off of it. It seems easy to take Milwaukee, and maybe that easy, but it's not something that I want to play. I'm also not looking towards Miami until they get this Jimmy Butler stuff situated. So those are my thoughts there. Like I said, not something that I really am super interested in. Let's see. Corey says it's a clear Spurs spot. Chris +3 for Spurs outright. Okay. Jimmy ain't going to wild till they cancel his pick on ESPN site. I want no parts of the Heat, man, and the conundrum, and I'm right there with you. Franz could be back. He listed as questionable with conditioning. Jimmy Butler is suspended. I think I said that, but if I didn't, the Miami Heat did suspend him last night for conduct detrimental to the team, and I think it was something about like not getting, like missing a flight or something. I want no parts of this game from a situational perspective. Next one we got up is the Raptors and the Hawks. Another game I don't want anything to do with either, man. I hate today's slate. I hate the NBA in general right now, man. I'm eventually get out of my slump, but I'm in a slump right now, and it's all because of what happened to me yesterday. I typically can put things behind me. It's difficult for me to do that today. So this game opened with Atlanta laying 6.5. I think that line is down to it's down to 5 now, 4.5 on some books. The total open 235.5. It's come down to 234. I guess I would agree. I would go under if I had to play this one. Looking at the Hawks, they are second in pace on the full season. Last 5 games, they're 13th in pace though, so they've played a lot slower pace basketball. It is the second leg of a back-to-back. They lost to the Detroit Pistons last night at home, so home back-to-back, no travel. But they've been playing a lot slower. That game also went under yesterday. The Raptors have also been playing slow. Their games have been going under. The Raptors are actually, what did I put in my notes? They actually last 5 games, they're middle of the pack offensively and 11th defensively are the Toronto Raptors, also playing at the 8th slowest pace. And they played the 9th strongest strength of schedule over the last 5 games. So you got a Raptors team coming in here, probably looking for some revenge. They did lose the last time that they played. Toronto actually got smoked. They were at home, and Atlanta was on the second leg of a back-to-back. The Toronto Raptors lost that game 136 to 107. They were actually only a 1-point dog in that game. So monitor the injury report for Atlanta. Jalen Johnson, interested to see if he plays on the second leg of a back-to-back. Atlanta already without, Reece Shea. He's been out the last few games. So just kind of monitor the injury report. I'm not interested in this game from a side perspective at all, though. Atlanta is kind of Jekyll and Hyde right now. They have been playing some pretty good basketball, and then Detroit just come in and absolutely clean them up last night. Atlanta is 4-4 straight up, 3-5 against the spread, playing unrested this season. They're also 5-2-1 to the under, 71.4%. So maybe a look towards the under 234.5 would be the recommendation if I had to make any plays here, but not anything I'm looking to actually play. Jalen says, bro, slate not even that bad. Well, I hope you cash on whatever it is that you play today, Jalen. I really, really do, man. Hawks money line, shake back spot. What you doing with that Hawks money line? You playing it straight at a -5? Let me know. I can't get down there. Jalen says, Raptors playing solid. Yeah, they are. They are playing solid right now. Talked about that game already. You just got to go back and listen. Andrew says Hawks bounce back spot at home, revenge game. So it's actually revenge game for Toronto, not for the Hawks. Next one up, we got the Mavs and the Thunder. This line was at 11.5 last night. It's now moved to 12.5, 13. And the total has, I would have thought that it came down. It actually went up. It opened 218.5. It's up to 221. And the injury concern here is to Kyrie Irving. He is listed as uncertain to play. His status kind of going to be up in the air. I have no idea if he's actually going to play. Klay Thompson also missed the game last night. Dallas also was without Jaden Hardy. They were without Derek Lively. Will continue to be without Derek Lively. Not sure if Najee Marshall comes back. Not sure if Dwight Powell plays. OKC can, of course, rest people as well. They played last night. They rested SGA last week when they were playing against Dallas, and that killed my -6. Will still be without Isaiah Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren. Also, Isaiah Joe was late. scratched yesterday because of an illness. And OKC did not cover that 17.5 point spread, or 18 or 16.5, whatever that number was against Utah. Utah actually covered a trifecta spot, first quarter, first half, and full game yesterday. OKC, I kind of just really need to see with them. I kind of lean under. I feel like this game could. I feel like Dallas is going to struggle to score, even though they scored pretty well against Minnesota last night. At certain parts of the game, I just kind of feel like they could struggle to score in this game. So potentially, without Klay Thompson again, I already said they got a long list of injury guys on this long list of guys on the injury report. I have a hard time getting there with laying points, but if Kyrie's not going to play, OKC could clean them up. I want to see a little bit of a sample size of OKC without both Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren, which is why I'm kind of staying off of their games for now. Their defense has not been as great. They have been giving up a ton of offensive rebounds, as to be kind of expected. That was one of the reasons why I kind of leaned towards Utah yesterday, but not anything that I got there on. So those are quick thoughts on that game. Raptors fans says maybe a Daniel Gafford spot today against the Thunder. Walker Kessler easily got a double-double before halftime yesterday versus the Thunder. Yeah, it could definitely be a Gafford game. You just need Gafford to come with that same energy and effort that he came with last night. We'll see how that goes. No idea if SGA gonna play. Who knows, man? These players get a little sniffle, and sometimes they don't even get a sniffle. They just don't play. So that's where I'm at with it, man. Andrew says he likes the Thunder buddies here. Think they win the game by margin. And I'm gonna wish you the best of luck on that one, Andrew. Not a game that I'm touching. Next one up, we got Kings and the Nuggets. Nugget Kings, of course, coming off second leg of back-to-back. They are getting 7.5 points on FanDuel, but they're getting 8.5 points on looks like everywhere else right now. So you can still get a 7.5 according to what I'm seeing right now, but this has been pushed to 8.5. This was at 7 last night when it first opened. The total was sitting at 240. This total is now 240.5, 241s out there. It's kind of all over the place. Immediately look, so the Kings can of course rest players. They had everybody last night, but they can add people to the injury report. Couple things here for the Kings that you don't like. They are traveling into altitude on the second leg of a back-to-back, and you also don't like that they had to exert so much energy last night. They were down at halftime against Golden State, ended up having to come back to win that game. They did not cover the spread. Before that game, however, though, they did have, I think I put in my notes, 3 days of rest before. So I'm not sure how much the second leg of a back-to-back is going to affect them but so much. They have been like relatively good as a road dog this season, 5-3 against the number. But Denver is a team right now that's a well-oiled machine. This team is not a team I want to bet against, especially with them having a little bit of a rest advantage here. They've kind of put it together. Last 10 games, they're 8-2 straight up and against the number. They've won and covered 3 straight games. All those games have been by double digits. Kings have played with no rest 8 times this season. Their opponents have hit their team total over in 7 of those games, in the 7 straight games as well. Denver is number 1 in offensive efficiency last 5 games, number 4 in offensive efficiency at home this season, with Sacramento playing at the fastest pace in the NBA last 5 games, and Denver's offensive efficiency. Denver should be able to kind of name their number here. I looked at their team total last night. It was 123.5. It was already juiced to the over. This morning I woke up, it's 124.5. And I still think that they score 125. It's 125 on most books, actually. So this has gone up a point and a half, almost 2 points already. I think Denver can kind of name their number here. They did score. The Nuggets scored 130 the last time that these two teams played in Sacramento. And that was with Sacramento not on the second leg of a back-to-back. I watched Sacramento really struggle last night defensively against Golden State. And granted, Denver's offense and Golden State's offense are nothing alike at all. Denver shoots a lot of points, like scores a lot at the rim, a lot of points in the paint with, just trying to play inside out, whether it's through Jokic or backdoor cuts, all of that good stuff. And Golden State wants to shoot a bunch of threes, off ball actions and, pick and rolls and different things like that. So that is a little bit different, and Sacramento can defend that a little bit better. They're not a great 3-point defense, but even Denver's even shooting the 3-point shot a little bit better. So Denver team total up and over would be my recommendation for this game at 124.5. Not anything that I bet, though. Just sharing my thoughts with you guys. That's how I kind of see this one going. Let's see. Jokic triple-double, Beanie says. I couldn't talk you off for Jokic, ever talk you off for Jokic triple-double. Andrew says Denver -10. Go stupid, dummy, crazy at the crib. I can see that. Brian says Kings last night should have known not to lay 7.5 with Golden State game to play, just couldn't finish. Yeah, they could not finish, which that's a sign of a pretty bad team, man. Golden State is struggling right now. Nuggets -7.5, Droopy says. Mavs team total under, Tariq says. Monk, that got cash with some bonus points plus rebounds. Glad to see you took that. Denver for Tariq. What up, Tasha? Good morning to you. Going back to Russell Westbrook, assists and rebounds. Bitchy says running back Denver 100 points through first 3 quarters at +210. No way I could talk you off of that, Bitchy. Manny says Kings on the road though, 10-8. Yeah, the Kings have actually been road dogs 8 times, and they're 5-3 against the number. There are some trends that favor Sacramento in this spot. The biggest one that stood out to me was the in-season trend of Denver with the rest advantage. Like, I think we people probably don't remember this, but we talk about Denver with the rest advantage a lot. With the rest disadvantage, they're actually, I think, one of the only teams in the NBA that still, I think they got 1 loss now on the second leg of a back-to-back. But for whatever reason, Denver does not. Let me just see if I can pull it up real quick. Denver does not play as well with the rest advantage. Now you got to compare that to. You got to compare them having the rest advantage to recent form. Recent form, they're just killing. But with the rest advantage, they're actually 1-4 against the spread. So they've only covered one of their 5 games with the rest advantage this season. You really don't like to see that. When they got a rest disadvantage, they are 9-7 against the number. And if they're completely unrested, they're 7-2 against the number. So Sacramento with the rest disadvantage are just 2-7 against the spread. That does favor Denver here. But like I said, they had a couple of days off last night. So I lean Denver, but more so Denver team total. I think they can get to 130 again in this spot. All right, next one up, we got the Lakers and the Celtics. Line open, I think Celtics -5. Then it went up to 6. Now it's back down to 5 because the Celtics couldn't handle their business last night and actually had to go to overtime with the Clippers B team. And now, so the line has come back down. Boston, you kind of want to wait on the injury report. This was supposed to be, and it is I say it's supposed to be. It is a 5th game in 7 nights and a 6th game in 9 nights with no rest, which is typically a phase spot. But they rested their guys last night. They rolled them out. They had the little boo-boos. No Porzingis, no Drew Holiday. Al Horford rested as well. So they probably want to smoke the Lakers. But Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Derek White all played last night. So how much fatigue does that put onto the Boston Celtics? We know that they're light years better than the Lakers. Can they win this game and cover the spread? Yes. Does last night going to overtime with the Clippers kind of playing with their food matter? I'm not sure, man. I honestly don't know. I want the Celtics with Porzingis in, though. So I'm not looking towards the Lakers at all. I hear the reports of LeBron and Anthony Davis kind of saying that they need more help. They need another guy, and I feel like all the Lakers organization has done is try to make it easier for them by going out and acquiring pieces. I guess if I'm looking at this one, Taylor pointed this out in the comment section last night, comment section yesterday, that he was looking at James Harden assist to go under. That kind of stood out to me. Maybe Austin Reeves assist to go under. Boston is a team that runs a lot of isolation. They just kind of let you isolate without helping. And they got really good, perimeter defenders. So I think that they man up on Austin Reeves. If Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Derek White, Drew Holiday, and Kristaps Porzingis all play, then maybe I'll look towards Austin Reeves to go under his assists. But I'm not looking towards the Lakers in any capacity at all. And that Denver -7.5 is gone. Somebody came and scooped that up. That moved a full point to 8.5. So all 8.5s for Denver now as well. There is an over trend here that I always track, and it's whenever teams play the Lakers or the Celtics, and then they have no rest and have to play the other team. Going back to the 2022 season, is hitting about 65%, says to take this game up and over the total. And even though the Lakers are playing at a super fast pace, I could see it potentially being an over spot just because Boston could be a little bit fatigued in this spot. Both of these teams do play at a snail's pace, though, so you don't really love that as much. But 15, 8, and 1 to the over is something that you really don't want to fade too often. So yeah, Boston did get a win last night too. So we'll see how that goes. I would be looking at over, slightly into the over, and then I would probably be looking at Boston minus the 5. I think they cleaned the Lakers up today. Not looking towards the Lakers. Let's see. Any thoughts on this one? Appreciate you, Anthony. Denver first quarter for Tariq. Denver just doesn't contain guys like Monk. There's way too many points, Pete says. Mike Malone is back to leaving Joker in the entire first quarter. I like that. With the Kings on the back-to-back. Nuggets first quarter for Brian. Justin says he took the over on the Lakers game. Lakers tonight for Droopy. I wish you the best of luck, my brother. Taylor says if Porzingis plays, take Jaylen Brown under his points. It's crazy the discrepancy here that he's averaging 13.78 field goal attempts per 36 minutes with Porzingis. Tatum and White on the court. Remove Porzingis from the equation. He's averaging over 19 field goal attempts per 36 minutes. He's under in 12 of his 17 games. So looking at Jaylen Brown to go under if all of those guys get rolled in, says Taylor. And he had to do a lot last night. How many minutes did he play? Pretty sure he played a buku of minutes. He had a team high 24 points, played 43 minutes last night, 11 rebounds and 8 assists last night. Naeli says Lakers +6 and over. Think Boston is tired. I think Boston should be well rested. Porzingis and Jalen and Porzingis and Al Horford and Jrue Holiday didn't even play last night. So maybe the rest of the guys are tired, but I can't look towards the Lakers, man. They make my heart hurt like Kyrie Irving did last night. Bulls and Warriors, another game. You got Warriors on the second leg of a back-to-back. I'm on a Bulls free diet still. Had been doing really well for me, so I'm gonna just keep that going. Not looking towards the Bulls in any capacity ever in life. I did see injury report that they had just a very mediocre team. The Bulls have Ayo Dosunmu listed as questionable. Kobe White is unlikely to play. So, I mean, they still got Zach LaVine and Vucevic, Patrick Williams, and Josh Giddey, but who knows what you're going to get from those guys. Golden State could potentially rest players in this game. Short travel back from Sacramento. Kyle Anderson didn't play yesterday. Of course, Draymond will continue to be out. No Kuminga. Looney is listed as out in this game as well due to illness. I forgot. He didn't come back in that game last night. And then Brzezinski is out as well. So I guess if there's ever a Bull spot, this is it. And when the Bulls have a spot, they will let you down. Trust me, I've burnt my money this year trying to back the Bulls. So I wish you guys the best of luck if you're betting this one. I can't really give you anything, though. Like, nothing concrete at all on this one. Nothing at all. Next one up, we got the Warriors and we got not the Warriors, the Wizards and the Clippers. This line was at 12.5 last night. It's up to 13.5, 14. And this one kind of makes, I guess, a little bit of sense. If you wanted the Clippers, you didn't want to see them go to overtime, but then again, they rested everybody last night so they could get up for this game. James Harden, Norman Powell, Kawhi Leonard. I'm not sure if Zubac is going to actually return. Zubac is actually ruled out with an actual real injury. He had an eye injury, and that kept him out of the game. They played against Chicago in the last one as well. But Chris Dunn and all of those guys should be back in this one. They probably blow the Wizards out, man. Even on the second leg of a back-to-back, with their starters returning, the Wizards are not a real basketball team. They just lost by 25 to the Lakers, and the Lakers not even. I'm not sure if the Lakers are a real basketball team either. But I think the Wizards potential Wizards team total under in this spot as well. I put in my notes yesterday. Let me see if I can find it. If I go back to yesterday's notes before when I thought we was gonna have a real game between the Celtics and the Clippers, I put in my notes that the defense of the Clippers. Let's see. Yeah, so Clippers are allowing 96 points per game in the 5 games that Kawhi has played in since he's returned. Their opponents have stayed under their team. Their opponents have all stayed under their team total. They're also 5-0 against the spread with Kawhi Leonard in, is what I had put in my notes for yesterday's game when I thought before Kawhi got rolled out. So I handicapped yesterday's game, of course, on Wednesday. And that's what I have written in my notes. So Wizards team total, I think it's like 105.5. They probably score 100 points tonight or less. So that's the way that I would look. The Clippers also play super slow. The Clippers can get to their team total. It's 118.5. I still think they can score that many points. But yeah, I would be looking at a Wizards team total under here. 105.5, I think, is a tad bit too many points for the Wizards to try to score in this spot. Or I would just play the spread. Let's see. Zach points for sure. Quincy says Denver's 14-26 against the spread in the first quarter. Wolves -1.5, Celtics -6. Such bad beats. Boy, I don't want to talk about it. Niley took the Bulls +3. Clippers -13 she likes. Quincy says Harden rebounds and assists shall pass. Wizards team total under maybe today. I like it, Raptors fan. If I had to bet anything, and I would look a little deeper, but it's already down to 104.5 on ESPN Bet and on DraftKings. So under 105.5 is available on a couple different books. Not too much juice attached. That's the way that I would play this one. Wizards score 88 points against the Lakers. Imagine how many they're going to score against the Clippers. Much better defensive team. And Taylor says he likes Norman Powell. I do think that Norman Powell is a great look. The Wizards' three-point defense, all of their defense is trash, honestly. So if Zubac gets rolled in, he should have a good matchup as well. But Taylor says Powell 3 and 4 threes in this game. Wizards are ranked 26th in limited points to the above the break three. Norman Powell is scoring 46% of his points from there versus the teams with 20th or worse above the break three defense. He's over in 9 of his 10 games, averaging just under 4. He has hit 4 in 6 of those 10 games. So looking at Norman Powell, I like this look a lot. I think it makes a ton of sense here. Warriors tonight for Andrew. I hope you cash it. Harden goes off tonight, Droopy says. And dropping dimes like Obi Toppin. He says he got engaged last night. Pacers by 50. Got engaged in France last night. Yeah, only thing that I played today is Pacers. Only thing I played today is Pacers. So short list is here. The line had dropped to 2, which is why I had put 2. After I played it, I do have a 2.5 ticket open. And again, that game starts at 2 o'clock for people who join late. If you want the analysis on that one, go back and check it out. But I did play Pacers -2.5. This line has moved now, but it had moved against me last night. So we'll see how it goes. You still can get 3 on like a couple like not so big books. I see Bally Bet, Bet Rivers, and Hard Rock still have 3, but it's 3.5 everywhere else. That's the one play that I like the most. I talked about the Denver team total. It is on the move now. You still can get 124.5, but that's not even consensus. Consensus is 125.5, and I think the Bucks should be able to score whatever it is that they want with the Miami Heat not doing a really good job of protecting the rim in this game. So probably, I'm pretty sure supposed to try to make Giannis, try to build a wall, make Giannis a facilitator. So potential look towards Giannis over his assists. I think Taylor dropped off a good look just now in a couple good looks in the comment section as well with Jaylen Brown under on his points if Boston plays everybody. And then same thing with the last player prop that he mentioned with Norman Powell to go up and over his 3-point prop as well. So we'll see how it goes. It's a lot of injury report manipulation today, as it always is. Toronto, Atlanta also lean under 234.5 there. And I think those are the top spots on the board for myself today. Only one official play. I hate the NBA right now, if I'm being honest. I got a really bad taste in my mouth, man. Oh, and I guess I'll add Washington team total under as well if I was going to play anything in that game, under 105.5. Really bad taste in my mouth, man. I wish you guys the best, though. I hope you enjoy your Thursday, man. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. All the resources are here. Description will get you a discount code if you're interested in checking them out, man. Enjoy your Thursday, and I will catch you guys in the next one, man. Hope you guys have a great day. I'm out.